Round 3 of the Rotax Max Challenge South Africa happens at Killarney Raceway in Cape Town, and we now go into action coming out of Minimax. Great to see the Minimax qualifying going so close, but how was that opening lap? And Kyle Visser could potentially be the man to beat you, but he's going to have his work cut out for him because he's got a big field looking to close him down and possibly spoil his day.
Talk to me about how qualifying went.
Yeah, it was a good lap. I mean, yeah, just unfortunately we couldn't get Kyle, but yeah, I'm happy with the way it went today. I got a perfect lap in. I mean, 44 is quite a good lap still. Congratulations to Kyle and to Joaquin. We got a tough competition today, but unfortunately we got second. Still on the front row, so hopefully you can get a good start tomorrow and yeah, go for the...
This track, different to all the other circuits, there's plenty of overtaking opportunity and slipstream is all important. How are you going to handle the race?
Yeah, look, well, hopefully I'm just going to aim for the good start and see how it goes from there. I'm going to try break as late as I can, start obviously, and see how it goes.
No, I never really said that I was hoping for first, but I'm happy with that position. I could still win from that position, so hopefully let's do so.
What's the trick to this circuit?
Consistency. You have to know the lines properly. You can't make any mistakes, and yeah, that's really it.
Tomorrow, strategy, how are you going to handle it?
Hopefully take the inside line and win it. We'll take the lead and hopefully keep it like that.
The Cape Townians always like the circuit because there's quick corners, and some corners, the people from Joburg, that are not so good. So the Cape Townians actually love golf club and stuff because some people aren't so good there, so that's where you find the pace.
Lots of slipstreaming can happen, especially if we've got the southeaster blowing up in Raceway tomorrow. How do you handle the slipstreaming? And it's one of the tracks with the most overtaking opportunity.
When somebody slipstreams and he's like on you, then you just go a bit wide, then you tap the brake. But nobody will actually see, so it just dives you on the inside. So you can catch his slip for a bit, so he doesn't qualify in front of you.
But now in the race, that doesn't work anymore because then it's all about who's going to be on the brakes latest.
Yeah, that's true actually.
So how are you going to handle tomorrow when the pressure's on? And who are the guys who's going to put the pressure on?
Actually, the guys who's going to put the most pressure on me will be Joaquin de Oliveira and Miguel Fernandez. So I have some hope inside of me so that I'll be able to win.
Race 1, and here we go on pole position. Kyle Visser looking to turn his luck around from Vereeniging. Remember, he went out there and could potentially have won 2 of the heats and just spoilt it on the day. But today, I think it might be a little bit of a difference.
Great start there from him. It looks like it's Josh De Paiva getting a little bit argy-bargy into turn 1, but getting it right and coming out of turn 1. Is that third?
Yeah, very close between these guys. Absolutely nothing in it and through the 180s for the first time. They still haven't sorted it out just yet. Visser's got to the front and head down. See you later. I don't know if they're going to be able to catch him now, but let's see what's going to happen here for second, third, and fourth place, and make that fifth place as well. He's got 4 karts fighting for second.
Someone's run very wide there and lost a few places, but Josh De Paiva, what a start, up to second place into turn 1.
Jordan Brooks as well is involved as well as they come through there. But as you said, LaRue doing everything right, sorting things out. Miguel Fernandez also looking for an opportunity now and losing it out as Brooks goes on the inside and gets through to second. Oh, amazing stuff there. I don't know how it's going to sort things out there for second, third, and fourth place. Make that 5, 6, and 7 because all of a sudden we've now got 6 karts involved in the battle for second.
Carl's obviously been taking notes out of his big brother's book because he's turning this into a bit of a Visser roadshow. 5 car lengths on the next car behind him. Absolutely checked out in the first 2 laps.
Fernandez now trying to come back at Jordan Brooks for second. Jordan Brooks doing a super job there in the barrel. But Fernandez, of course, had a fantastic outing down at Idubi. Will look to maybe just sort things out here and get back into the mix. Josh LaRue, though, is the man who's fighting hard with him. So Fernandez and LaRue going at it as they go down towards turn 1. And under braking, a little bit of sideways action coming out of Mikel Patrizzi as well. Michele having a super run in the regionals and now looking to capitalize in national championships as well.
Josh trying to get his move back there to the second 180. He's gone in a bit deep. I wonder if it's worked. Oh, Kyle Fernandez, unfortunately, running out of road on the outside there, losing 4 places.
Dropping by the wayside, but you can't afford to make any mistakes like that, because as you say, you can lose up to 5 positions.
Josh went for the cat back there on Michele Patrizzi, got it done. So he's fighting hard for his 3rd place there, and it's allowed De Paiva to get right up there.
De Paiva involved in the mix as well, so De Paiva, Patrizzi, Fernandes, Brooks and LaRue all fighting. Brooks in fact pulling slightly away now. And these guys fighting so hard for 3rd place, it's allowing Jordan Brooks a little bit of breathing room.
Joaquin de Oliveira also getting his nose in there now, going down the inside of Patrizzi. Not Patrizzi, De Paiva gets it done, but it just allows Fernandez through, and again there's a bit of wheel touching as they head into the second 180.
And these mini guys not holding anything back, that's for sure. Oh, and some more rubbing.
Oh, it's going to end ugly.
That could have ended up a lot worse than what it did. A couple of guys having to come out of it ever so slightly as well. So another gap opening up. So you got a gap to 2nd, and now a gap to 3rd and 4th, and now another gap opening up for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Sure, incredible action.
Matthew Morrell just joining the back of the group there. He looked really strong recently at Swartkops, but unable to carry the momentum here at Cape Town. Not a circuit you can just arrive and race at. Some testing needs to be done before you can come and do the national, yeah.
Kelly Patrizzi looking for opportunities now, and certainly looking dangerous. The rest of them coming through, trying to sort things out, as you can see. Maneuvers in the background. Oh, side by side out of the second 180. Usually one of them will go wide.
Jada Kirsten just losing to Matthew Morrell there, but they seem to have gotten out that okay. No issues to the chicane this time. So starting to settle down slightly as the race gets towards the mid series.
Settle down. I don't know about that, hey? You've got literally 2nd to 12th place, all running in the 45-second bracket. Only man to get into the 44 is Kyle Visser. So literally everybody within the same lap and the same time per lap in the first 12 carts. Amazing.
Unbelievable.
So down into the braking markers for the 180s again. So tight. Who's got what it takes here to maybe just get the advantage over the rest of this pack of carts? Not going to be an easy thing to do, that is for sure. You can see the fight there. Fernandes, LaRue, De Paiva, Patrizzi and Jabert. And look out as well for Matthew Morrell. Matthew Morrell also starting to throw in a couple of maneuvers here that could potentially move him up through the field. Out of that big S. Another lap going to be completed here. And they're all looking to close down on Visser. But Visser has up and got away.
Carbon copy of what his brother did in the first season, Junior Max, not even in the shot. Jordan Brooks working hard to catch up to him, but I think the gap's far too big for him to close. Up to almost 3 seconds on.
LaRue looking for opportunities. There's a move on the inside. Oh, De Paiva coming through there as long and looking for a chance with Patrizzi. Two of them very, very evenly matched. And look at how Josh LaRue is just fending them off here. Great bit of defensive driving as they come up under the braking markers, but this time, no. I thought he might go around the outside.
Patrizzi not ready for the cutback there on Josh LaRue, but Josh doesn't seem to have the pace to run with these boys, but he's keeping them behind him very, very well. Defensive driving lessons to be taken here.
Oh, certainly a great effort here. Mikel Fernandes coming back into the mix as well. As you see, just a little bit of late braking. Not quite there just yet, but certainly within pouncing range. Oh, man. There's such late braking from these guys. You don't know what's going to happen because, I mean, coming into the 180s, we've seen it all day long. How positions can change up. One slight wheel wrong and 6 carts go flying through on the inside of you.
You almost want to call it before you see it, but you're too scared because it changes so quickly onto the apex. So great racing from these kids. Lots of late braking maneuvers. Great work from Josh LaRue as well to keep them behind him. But Patrizzi looking very racy there. But Mikel Fernandez has worked his way up, fallen down and worked his way back up again. So very, very racy there. I think he'll be looking down into turn 1 here on Patrizzi.
Here we go into turn 1. He's on the inside. Patrizzi goes around the outside, trying to find a way past. Runs wide onto the dirty stuff. That could be costly. I think he might have just lost the drive. Yes, he has. So Patrizzi losing out there. And unfortunately, it was a mistake that he made on his own. He's done it again. He's lost 2-3 positions again. Just getting onto the wrong line on the track. And Michele has dropped back.
Yeah, De Oliveira and De Paiva managed to get their way through there now. As they head down the back straight. De Oliveira a little bit too worried about De Paiva. He's not quite close enough as Fernandez tried to switch back on LaRue there.
And Morrell also looking for a chance just in the background too. as he sees a potential of getting through there on Patrizi. Whether or not that's the case, we'll wait and see what happens now as they come across the line. Another lap completed. Defensive driving down into turn 1. Look at that, looking over the right shoulder the whole time.
The outside.
And Fernandez cementing that third place. For now, anyway.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Any second.
Yeah, potentially in the next corner, a whole nother ball game.
Oh, morale down on the inside of Hubert there in second 180s. Good move, got it done. So he's moving up quite nicely. But like you say, next corner it could be completely different.
Fernandez now trying to pull away. And by not having to go defensive, he might be able to do that. You can see just behind him there, Leroux went defensive, changed up the line, and slowed him up, and he didn't get the drive out of this last section.
Last 3 car lengths on him.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Fernandez was hoping for. Fernandez, I don't think, is going to be able to catch the top 2 out front, but he might be able to hang on for 3rd place, because 4th place, once again, it's just non-stop action. That's 2nd, Jordan Brooks.
Looks like
there's
first.
the gap to 3rd. And 4, 5, and 6 now into their 180s.
Unbelievable racing here in this pack.
Oh, they really are putting on a good show here. And just showing that they've got what it takes in terms of strategy. The kart setup seems to be almost identical on every single one of these karts, besides the top 3, of course. They've just got a slight margin over everybody right now. But that'll probably change
there,
up.
Joaquin de Oliveira trying to sneak up the inside there of Leroux, but Leroux just wise to drove on the outside of him, but he's lost all his drive coming onto the main straight. He's going to be a sitting duck going into turn 1.
And McKelly's back in it as well. McKelly, Patrizi coming straight back at these guys. Looking to capitalize if something goes wrong. There you go. Dives on the inside, goes through. Oh, it is so tight. McKelly's on the inside. 2 cars coming out of that corner, 2 by 2. And wow, incredible run here. Well, there's the first shot of our leader we've seen in a long time, as he's heading towards a very easy victory in the end of it. Kyle Visser doing it all right here.
Almost doesn't seem fair. He doesn't get much airtime running that far out in front.
Unfortunately, it does happen when you run that far out front. Jordan Brooks also comfortable in 2nd place. As the flag comes out, Visser's going to take it. Brooks will be in 2nd, just in the background as he comes across the line there. And Mikael Fernandez is going to hang on for 3rd. It's the battle for 4th we were watching, which was eventually won out by Josh Leroux, beating Josh De Paiva and Michele Patrizi for 6th place. Dennis Jabert beating out Matthew Morel, Goosen and De Oliveira in the top 10.
How was your race, mate?
My race was very nice. I was quite scared when I saw Jordan Brooks 537 behind me. I thought, I was like, shoot, he's gonna catch me. I'm not gonna win. But I won the race.
Like your brother as well?
Yeah, my brother 457 also won the race with a humongous gap.
What do you think of the next heat? That may be alright?
My next heat's goal is to win, because I really want to win the race day today, so I'm gonna try my best.
It was a good race. In the start, Jock Oliveira holding me up a little bit, and then some Oaks passed me. Josh Leroux went on the outside in the inside of everyone. It was still a good race, and then through the golf club there, Michele bumped me, and then I bumped Jock Oliveira, and he went wide. Then I passed him. And then on the straight towards the finish line on the first lap, I passed Josh Leroux, and then he went wide, and then I pulled away, and the rest were fighting, and I finished 2nd.
It wasn't the ideal start, I guess, but yeah, I fought back and I ended up 3rd. So yeah, it was a good race from after the start, but I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, we couldn't get into number 1, so yeah.
Heat 2, 12 laps of action coming away now. Visser and Brooks on the front row. Here we go. The top 2 from heat number 1. And it's going to be pretty much plain sailing there, I think, if Visser can get away. But is Brooks going to allow him to do that? Or anybody else? Because here comes Fernandez already into the mix. And I think Josh De Paiva in there too. Good start from him. He's also had a busy day in the saddle. Josh De Paiva competing in 2 of the categories yet today. And already looking for opportunities as they go left, right, centre, wide.
De Oliveira coming off very much second best in that.
I'll make that lost. He's very much lost on track as they came out there, and not the way you want to be doing that. Right, so Visser leading out, Brooks in 2nd. kind of looking to do the same thing they did in the first two. De Paiva fighting with Fernandes and Leroux. Patrizi's in there as well. Look out for Matthew Morrell and Dennis Jabir. Jaden Goosen coming through there as well in the second pack of karts on track right now.
Leroux must be caught up in that contact with De Oliveira, because we're kind of missing him out of the second group. I think he's just at the back of this group here, behind Patrizi. So he must have been involved in that second corner.
Just, I think, trying to take evasive action. A lot of karts went left and right, trying to avoid the karts that were spinning and getting sent onto the dirty stuff. So watch out for Leroux. He'll probably make his way back to the front end, try and find his way up with his good rival there, Mikel Fernandes, Michele Patrizi and Liam De Beer.
Liam not quite featuring much in the first heat, but having a much stronger second heat here. Enjoying a bit of a battle here in the front group.
You see those little battles starting to rage as they did in the first one. Kyle Visser doing exactly what he did in the first one, though, getting away from Jordan Brooks. Jordan Brooks getting away from Fernandes. Third, fourth, 5 and 6 right now. That's where we're concentrating as they head onto the braking markers down into turn 1. De Paiva from Morrell. And then you can see just tucked in behind there. And looking left, looking right. Trying to go around the outside and does so. Wow. Good move there from Fernandes.
But Matthew Morrell straight back at him, doesn't let him get away with it. Hubert pushing hard on Morrell, trying to get past him as quickly and get away from him as quick as possible.
That's the issue you're going to have here. These guys are not going to hold anything back now. Remember, they're pushing for opportunities. They kind of realize, I think, after the first race.
Oh, good move there from Hubert, but it leaves him on the outside, and that's just allowed Patrizi to come through both of them.
Patrizi diving through and looking now to close down on these two. Whether or not he can do that, we'll have to wait and see. Across the line, top 2, in fact, second and third, a lot closer than what it was in the first heat. I wonder if Brooks is going to be able to fend off the attack coming from the back end here.
I think Brooks is far used to being in the front, more used to being where Kyle Visser is than where he is at the moment.
Visser's just getting away. Showing a good race pace here, all race long. It's not a case of that it's good in the start, then it peters out or anything. It's just consistent
all the way through.
The whole way through. And once again, getting back down into the 44s. The only car to do that on the day here. So showing that Kyle Visser's just got that second edge over everybody else. De Paiva starting to put in the laps as well. And in fact, on this last pass, look at that. De Paiva trying to close the gap down has also just put in a 44 lap. So incredible effort there from Josh De Paiva as he looks to close things down here. Change up for second.
Mikel Fernandes and Jordan Brooks getting a little bit racy, allowing De Paiva to get onto the back of him. So we'll have a 3-card battle for second place here. Not the 6-7 card battle we had earlier, but still, nonetheless, it should be pretty good to watch.
So Fernandes now ahead of Brooks. Brooks looking behind him as he came onto that back straight just to see how far back De Paiva is. De Paiva realizes that he's got a quicker kart and he's closing things down. He can visibly see that gap coming down every time they get on the brakes.
It's a great confidence booster as a driver. You're sitting behind a group of guys or trying to chase down, and you just see you edging closer and closer and closer. The closer you see yourself edging to, and the faster you actually start driving, it's a great confidence booster.
And certainly paying off here for De Paiva as he looks to close in on these two for second and third. Brooks in third, not where he was in the first one. Behind them, 5-1-1, Michele Patrizi, De Beer, Dennis Jabir, Jaden Goosen, even Kaji Musa coming into the play now, and Andre Lariche just at the back there in the 11th spot. Cross into another lap to be completed. I wonder if Brooks has got a bit of an issue there. He seems to be losing ground and falling into the clutches of the hard charge coming out of De Paiva. De Paiva has certainly bridged that gap a lot quicker than what I expected, and he doesn't seem to have the pace there on Fernandes.
Fernandes is always very strong here as the hometown boy. But Josh De Paiva and Jordan Brooks chasing him hard, but he does seem to be getting 2 or 3 car links on him every two or three laps. And saying that, he's brought it right back now out of the chicane. I don't know if Miguel's made a mistake there out of the chicane. They head into the right hand and Jordan's right back on him.
Well, Brooks now trying to get that Brill art kart of his ahead. I'm not quite sure if the Samra man's going to have an answer here as they come flying through the last part, completing another lap. Fernandes, Brooks and De Paiva. Great 3-way tussle here for what is second place on track.
2 OTKs and a Brill art. Jordan Brooks down the inside, good move, gets it done, forces him slightly wide. Mikel wise to the fact that De Paiva's there, looks to see if he needs to cover. Brooks goes out wide. Fernandes down the inside. Brooks going to try and look back on the cutback. Can't get it done just yet.
It's a great little chess match here between these three. Any one of them looking to get to that second place and try and close down on Visser, but they don't seem to have an answer. As I said, De Paiva was able to get into the 44s to close the gap down to these two, but he's now been slowed up by the two of them, and he can't get the pace out of the kart that we know he's got, and that's going to be costly. He needs to get through there on both of them and maybe look to get away from them. It might be enough time for him to close down on Visser.
Jordan Brooks again down the inside into turn 1. Another late move, almost a carbon copy. It's like we're watching a replay.
Very late move there. Made it stick though. Now De Paiva looks to capitalize. Maybe catch the man in third place off guard. He's lost one position. If he loses two, might just rattle him.
De Paiva just not getting onto the back straight as clean as the other two, losing a car length as they get on here. So difficult for him to stay in touch, especially in the long straights. But so much better on the brakes into here.
Recloses that gap again. Closes right up onto the back end of Fernandes and on Brooks. Brooks holding station right now. Fernandes looking dangerous.
Going to be looking out onto the inside here onto turn 1. It seems to be their favorite overtaking maneuver. Here comes Fernandes down the inside. Gets to move down on Brooks. Nice and clean. Brooks is ready for him into the second 180. He's already inside.
On, make it stick. Does he go this time? Yes, he does. Forces Fernandes a little bit wider.
He runs wide. De Paiva's going to try and run on the outside. Can't get it done. Look for the cutback.
No,
unable to get it done.
Not quite close enough. But very, very tight between these two now. In fact, it's given Brooks a little bit of breathing room. Look at how Fernandes goes defensive. By going defensive, coming off the line, slowing the karts up ever so slightly. Brooks once again getting the advantage. De Paiva has to get through. We've seen that 44-second lap out of De Paiva, but he can't pull 44s if he's fighting with two karts.
He just doesn't seem to have that kick onto the straights that the other two have got, so it leaves him unable to pass at the end of these long straights, but he's very strong on the brakes into 180s.
He's got the handling, just doesn't have the top end. A little bit of adjustment there coming out of Brooks as he gets down into the 180s.
There we go, second 180 for De Paiva. It was close enough, didn't quite have a look though.
Maybe he's just going to wait a little bit longer, realizing that going too soon might be an issue. Visser coming into some back markers. Would that slow him down? Highly unlikely, but these three will be hoping that it does.
Absolutely miles ahead.
No worries at all, but you can see he did get hindered ever so slightly there by the back marker. Coming onto that back straight down that back straight away. Brooks using a hot line into turn 1, doesn't have to go to defensive line that we saw Mikel Fernandes have to do to keep out De Paiva.
De Paiva down the inside now. Mikel Fernandes trying to keep it tight, but De Paiva got it done. Able to get it done in such a way he doesn't even have to close up the second 180 now.
A good drive out of the 180s as well there from De Paiva. Now looking to go ahead and catch Jordan Brooks for second. Can he do that? Mikel Fernandes doesn't seem to have an answer just yet. We come into the closing stages here of the second heat, and I don't think anybody's going to catch Visser. He has just absolutely dominated this field. Incredible drive from the youngster. Really, really top class. Flag's about to come out for the second time today, and it's plain sailing to the line there. Jordan Brooks a little bit closer than what he was earlier on, and Josh De Paiva right on his tail there for third place. So a bit of a change up there in terms of the gaps between the drivers, but certainly Kyle Visser the man to catch. Fernandes in fourth, LaRue in 5, ahead of Patrizi, De Beer, Jabeur, Goosen, and Musa, your top 10.
I got a first place, and the race was very fun, and yeah.
It was a very good race. I'm pleased with both second places, but Kyle Visser in the start, I started second on the outside. Mikel was about to drive me. Then I went on the outside, and by help of a friend, Josh De Paiva, he pushed me in the start. If he didn't push me, I think they would have, both of them, first and third, would have pulled me. But he helped me, he pushed me, so I was second in the start. And then through the whole race, I was fighting with Miguel. And then I think 3 laps or 2 laps from the finish line, I pushed him wide. Then I pulled the gap, and then
It was good. At the start, we managed to pull away, and then Visser pulled away from us at the start. So it was just us three fighting for second and third. So Jordan and Kyle were fighting. So I was just waiting until the last lap to come and take Kyle.
2 out of 2. Can we get 3 out of 3? It's going to be a tough day in the saddle for these guys to find the pace that Kyle Visser's found down here in Cape Town. I don't know what he did, but he certainly got it all sorted out. He hasn't got the whole shot here for heat number 1, and that might be a strategy that works well for the rest of this field. Get ahead of him and make sure that he has to now do the fighting.
Jordan will start there from the Paiva. Brooks not getting past him, but if they just stay tidy, they can get away, the two of them. But I don't know if this is going to allow Joshua De Paiva there, hampering Visser as much as he can, but getting away by like at least 2 colleagues coming out of the second 180. He's onto Fernandez now and onto moving away to the front.
So Brooksy leads out ahead of De Paiva. Then you've got Fernandez. And Visser looking to get through on Fernandez right from the word go. Let's see whether or not this is going to be any change up here from how things have gone so far on the day. They come flying through and complete the first lap, and it's Jordan Brooks to lead his first lap of the day. He comes through to take the lead, and the race lead so far in this third and final heat.
Everybody looking behind them to see where Kyle Visser is. He's right there in 4th place, just behind Fernandez. Jordan Brooks still looking every single time he gets to a breaking point just to see who's there to challenge him. But Fernandez looking very strong through the first 180 on De Paiva as they head now to the second one. I think we can look at a move into the right hand onto the golf club.
Now watch out for Visser coming through down there. Watch for the cutback from Visser. Defensive driving coming out of Fernandez. He goes onto the inside line. He goes on the inside, in fact, gets through on De Paiva and brings along Visser. Wow, good move there. De Paiva opening up the door, and both carts going through.
Joshua sniffing blood in the water there now, getting onto the back of Josh De Paiva, but De Paiva's been just that slightly bit quicker than him all weekend.
On the inside, Visser for the lead, for second place. I was going to say for the lead, it should be for the lead. Probably going to be for the lead in about the next lap, because Jordan Brooks looks back and goes, oh no, here he comes again. What are we going to do about this youngster? He really has had a phenomenal weekend's racing here. And it's only one more cart before he hits the front.
Maybe he can do what his brother missed out on, the pole and 3 wins this weekend. So this time at least he's not running away with it. It's going to be a bit of a race this time, but definitely looking one of the quickest out there.
Background name to be at Jaden Goosen, Matthew Morrell and Joaquin de Oliveira. Michele Patrizzi not where he wants to be. He's got a bit of work to do now to see if he can make his way up and potentially finish up in the top 10.
Last time we watched Michele Patrizzi, he was flipping a cart over, tossing it back and climbing back in. So
that's right.
I think he's doing a little bit better today.
Oh, did I call it? Yes, I did. Turn 1 and a change up not only for first but also for second. Looks like Jordan Brooks might lose out here for second place. He's trying to keep that late braking, but Fernandez dives on his inside and he's eventually lost out. De Paiva right on his tail.
He's turning back at him.
Oh, I say he lost out. He lost out for about half a corner and then comes back for second place ahead of Fernandez and De Paiva.
And that's it. Kyle Visser has checked his ticket.
Yep. He's just going to drive that cart straight into the back of the Boeing and go home. Yeah, man, this kid is on fire here this weekend. Brooks in second, Fernandez third, De Paiva 4. And that's pretty much how it's been almost all race day long. Second place is where it's at. That's what they're going to be fighting for.
Leroux and De Beer having a bit of a humdinger there just behind this group, trying to get back onto the race as we see De Beer have a big dive on Goosen there just behind Patrizzi.
Looks like a little bit of issues there as well. Watch out for some nose cone infringements. We'll have to keep an eye on those ones for later on in the race. I think there's a potential there for some nose cone infringements if we get anybody tapping each other. Watch out for Jordan Brooks. Jordan Brooks, I think, could be in a little bit of issues there. Having a look at that cart.
Yeah, you can see it bouncing as he goes over the bumps there. Definitely got a bit of a nose cone penalty, so that's going to drop him down in the final results. But let's see what he can do during the race. I don't think he realizes his nose cone's in yet.
No, it's going to just be a case of fighting now for the flag and then sort things out afterwards. Fernandez on the back end of Brooks. You can see the wind has changed direction ever so slightly on the main straight as well, so they don't have to go as defensive as what they used to in the first couple of heats. The wind blowing across that main straight now as opposed to straight into the visors of those helmets.
Oh, Joshua going defensive there on Hubert now. Hubert being a little bit pushy as they go into second 180 and gets it done.
Comes straight back at him. Nice little chopping and changing there between Hubert and Leroux.
Leroux, the only pro guy out there at the moment, and doing quite well to be inside the top 6. As they head into golf club now.
One thing I'm going to be concerned about is Kyle Visser hasn't been able to match the same kind of pace is what he got out of the first couple of heats. So the headwind was definitely helping him out. Now with the change in wind direction, he's not been able to bridge the gap and get away as far as what he did in the first 2 heats of racing.
I think there's been quite a big temperature drop between the second and the third heat, so maybe jetting has come into play there a bit. I can see his radio flap still a little bit closed. It's still closed, so he's obviously not running at the temperatures he wants to be running at just yet.
And it's allowing the other two a chance. Fernandez, De Paiva, and of course Jordan Brooks. They're all in with a chance here of spoiling the day.
Oh,
Matt
Matty Morel with a late dive on Patrizi there. Gets it done. Patrizi unfortunately losing 2 places there.
Now Patrizi having to fight hard there as he gets into the mix there with Joaquin de Oliveira and Jaden Goosen. But now, as we get to the front end again, let's have a look and see what's happening. Is there any chance here for a change-up for the win? Is it going to be Kyle Visser for 3 out of 3? Is he going to have the perfect day? It looks like it as he crosses the line and completes another lap.
And Kyle Fernandez coming down the inside again, Jordan Brooks, but he just doesn't seem to have an answer on the brakes. Rather wait maybe for the first 180. You've been trying there all day. Haven't seemed to got it right.
Still doesn't. Waiting for the second one now. Will he cut back and see if he can get the drive? No, he doesn't. Sticks behind the Burrell man as they come out of the 180s and looks to use Jordan Brooks' pace to close in on Visser. 11 of 15. Oh, man, it is so tight between these guys. Absolutely nothing in it between them, and it looks like we're going to see a bit of chopping and changing now. They're into the last part of this race, so it's all got to be done here. And you can see just how hard they're having to fight out for the last part of this championship in Cape Town.
Patrizi, De Oliveira and Oliman having a big fight there for their positions, but we go back to the front. Visser hasn't walked away with it like I think he wanted to. He's got a gap, but it's just a bit of breathing space.
Jordan Brooks under attack now from Fernandez. Fernandez dives on the inside. Visser is not having it his own way. 100% right. Jordan Brooks is pounding him and looking for a chance to squeeze through. Fernandez in second. I wonder if Fernandez realizes there might be a little bit of a nose cone infringement on that Burrell. I don't think he realizes it. Even if he did, he would still be fighting as hard.
Oh, Joaquin de Oliveira out of the race. Seems to be hurt. His arm must have been a red flag.
Oh, red flag coming out there with the cart on the sideline. And it looks like 60% of the race is done. De Oliveira unfortunately out there, but that'll give Kyle Visser the win. Fernandez will take second place because Brooks was given that nose cone infringement, which moves De Paiva up into third place, Jabir into fourth, Brooks down to 5, and De Beer into 6th place ahead of Goosen, Morel, and De Oliveira, who beat out Michele Patrizi for the top 10.
Yeah, I got 3 first, but the last one was almost like an unexpected win until the red flag came, so I'm very glad I won the day.
Yeah, it was a good start. I mean, but there was a bit of a bumping there in the start. And then, Kyle just had a lot of pace, so he got past me. And then Brooks as well. Me and Brooks were racing a little bit, and we caught up to Kyle. And now coming into the last lap, and we are going to start really going for it, and the red flag came out, so unfortunately that's the end of our day. Yeah.